Welcome back to Divine Time in 33. I'm Dion. What's going on with y'all? What's going on, collective? How y'all doing? I got another tarot reading. Okay. I don't have a message today. We're just going to go with the flow and see what happens. All right. God, creator, Lord of the worlds, most high. Mama, Brahma. All right. Opening up an energetic word. Burn a little bit of sage. All right, clean that energy out. Always, right? All right. All right. Okay, Spirit, God, goddesses, angels, archangels, ascended masters, ancestors, and spirit guides. All right. Of a high vibration. Any negative energy must leave right now. Michael, I need you to slip the door for anyone because I'm not open to just any energies, only high vibrational energies in this reading. All right. Let's see what comes out here. All right. All right, what do we have here for the collective this morning? What's going on in the collective's energy? What do they need to know? All right. We're going to see. All right, what do we have in the collective energy? All right, what do we have in the collective energy? Oh, that was fun, a little shuffle there. All right. What do we have in the collective's energy? What is the messages? What are our messages for the collective today? What do we have? Oh, that's way too many cards, Spirit. What do we have here, Spirit? What do we have for the collective to know today? What's the message for today? Whoa. All right, that's too many cards. I'm not taking these cards. All right, come on, Spirit. Give me something here. That's not like 10 cards and shit. Okay. All right, we got moodiness coming out. All right. All right, I've got a Knight of Cups in reverse coming out. Okay. A little something on that energy. All right, I've got Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. You know, this is just spirits of confidence and respect. So maybe a lack of it, or maybe there is some respect, but maybe some moodiness. Maybe there's some respect and some disappointment going on in your life. Okay. All right, what do we got with this energy here? What do we have with this Knight of Cups in reverse? Whoa. I swear to you, okay, I'll take the first card here. All right, and the rest of these cards are going back. All right, so we got somebody here that that understands their position, though. All right, they may be a little moody. All right, there may be either a lack of self-confidence or of self-respect. Maybe there's some self-love that needs to take place. But there's a collective here that definitely understands what's going on. All right. We got a wise connection here. On the bottom of the deck, I see the Six of Pentacles. All right. And that was in reverse. All right. What do we have here with this Hierophant and this Nine of Cups in reverse? What is the message here? Come on. What's the message here? All right, so we have some isolation and some regret. All right. So what I'm seeing here is that there's someone who is moody, but they understand why it is that they're moody. They understand. I've got a collective here uh that's very wise. So they understand what it is that they're going for or going through. All right. Even though they may be going through some things. I'm seeing here that there's some withdrawal. Okay. So someone moody and in their emotions, and this could be about a Five of Cups energy here. So these are the next two cards that are coming out here. Okay. So I'm seeing someone that's isolated and that has some regret. So I'm looking at a collective here that is moody, but are wise. So they understand why they're moody. They understand uh, the the feeling of the isolation that they feel themselves in. They understand it. This is because they are either in regret or disappointed about something. Are you regret and disappointed about something? I'm seeing Two of Wands. So are you in regret about what it is that you're looking forward to doing? You know, I'm seeing Two of Wands here, so this suggests that we should be looking forward. But then, as you look forward, maybe there's something that's making you feel moody, collective. All right, but you know what that is, though. All right, you know what makes you feel isolated and withdrawn, and what has disappointed you. All right, it's something that you're looking forward to, maybe causing some disappointment. Okay, let me grab a few more cards with this. I want to grab two more cards with this. This message here. What do we have here with this moodiness and the fact that you do understand what's going on? So you're working through something. That's what it is. You're working through something. All right. What is the collective working on through here? What is the collective working on here that's got them moody? A difficult decision. All right. And so, you know, okay. So to not make a decision or to sit in the moodiness of where it is that you're sitting, all right, and what you are aware of, okay, um, is not so bad. All right. The lesser of the two evils is what I get from this card. Right side up, it would be that you had your guard up to whatever it was. Maybe you didn't see what it was, but clearly you see as a Hierophant card came out here, and you're not making that decision, or you are making decision because you realize, well, it's either this way or it's either that way. Which is better than not making a decision at all, or the unrest that you're currently sitting in. All right. So this could be because of an indecision. This could be because of, making the right choice. However that looks, however that feels for you. Okay. All right. Let me grab one more row with this. Yeah. So at the bottom of the deck here, I'm seeing a Knight of Swords. Okay. So, it seems like maybe making the right choice about what to go for about, right? So I'm seeing a collective here that wants to go forward with something in their life. All right. Only it's causing them stress. It sounds like when I look at this that maybe you don't want to do it, you know. Maybe, all right, you're conflicted, and that's okay. That's part of the process. All right. When you're making any decision, it sounds like there's definitely some thinking going on. And it sounds like with this Hierophant here that you know what you need to do. All right. It sounds like you got a really clear ideal. All right. It sounds like the thought of this makes you feel isolated. The thought of this makes you feel withdrawn. See, that's what I get from the Five of Cups. Not only that, you know, this person is withdrawn. Okay. It's not like this person doesn't know what's going on, but sounds like they have a difficult decision they need to make. Okay. And maybe I'm seeing a river behind here. Okay. And I also am seeing the fact that the sun is coming up. So there is light, like the Hierophant. There's wisdom here on what it is that you need to do. So you have everything that you need. You just need to make a decision to do it. It sounds like the decision that my collective is going to make here will be the less of the two evils. All right. Not making a decision at all, or understanding that it's a difficult decision you don't want to, and you're grappling with it, are two imbalances, so to speak. So to go with the flow, when I see this card here, all right, I see that there's a river. Okay. There's a river. And I think in this card here, it indicates how this river is actually coming from the guy here that's cloaked. All right. All right. So this is like a form of protection or something. Like you are making a decision because you feel like maybe what I see from this card here is that it sounds like to go with the flow here is a lot of work too. All right. And whatever you're thinking of, you've added and put, a lot of thought into it, and it has you in an unrest, whether you need to do it or not. But whatever it is, it's something that you need to do, and that you're struggling with it because you may not want to flow with it. You may not want to do it. All right. Let me grab one more card with this row. Whatever it is, though, it has wisdom associated with it because of that Hierophant. So, this might be some type of work opportunity, maybe a creative idea that you have, and it's something that you're grappling with, which is okay. All right. I'm here to tell you that whatever it is that you're grappling with, you've thought about it and you're thinking about it, and it kind of makes you uncomfortable. And I think it's because you may not want to flow with it. You may not want to do it. Sometimes we have to embody things in order to move forward in our life that we're uncomfortable embodying. We don't want to change, right? We like our status quo, but then again, we have things that we're after, whether it's money, whether it's an opportunity, whether it's creating something, all right, whether it's just being in a more comfortable position. Whatever this is, all right, I believe that you're moving through it, and I believe that you're going to make the best choice here, all right, eventually when you embody the courage and embody the strength. That was that self-respect and that confidence card coming out with the Queen of Wands in reverse. When you embody that, then that should give you what you need to go forward. When I see this page of cups coming out here, I say that whatever it is that you're thinking about, this bad boy has to do with something creative, And what I see here also is I see that you see what you need to create. You see what's in the cup. You're not gaslit at all. All right? You're not gaslit. It could be that people are projecting towards you. All right? Maybe they know it. Maybe they're not. maybe they're ultimately organized, you know, and they're trying to project so much onto you, and maybe that's maybe why you're overthinking this, or maybe making you moody. Oftentimes, when we don't flow with what it is that we are sent here to do, or when we're grappling with things, it could be a pull on from a source that we're unaware of that just kind of makes it happy, or I'm happy. Whoa, what? Or that can make you happy or sad is what I get from that. All right, that they can affect your decision. You know, this is why when we speak of spirituality, we speak of you must believe without a shadow of a doubt, because oftentimes the shadow will doubt. You know, it will create doubt. That's why we work with our shadow. That's why we release our shadow, so that we can see our shadow for what it is. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, what I see here is that there's a creative opportunity here, but there may be a shadow perspective of yourself that's like, I don't want to do that shit. I don't want to do that. It could be because it's a lot of work. It's maybe a lot of focus to get this done. Okay, that it may require you to use your skills, some type of information and wisdom, right? But whatever it is, all right, you need to flow with it. Okay, sounds like this is something spiritual. All right, right. So I'm seeing here that I'm seeing a strength up card upside down, and I'm seeing that self doubt come in, which this looks like this might be some self doubt, right? I don't want to flow with it. I don't want to do it, right? I know what I need to do, but I don't want to do it, you know? So I would just say that this is your strength card. So just put it in, just activate it, you know? So turn it upside down, you know, make the decision, the lesser of the two evils. It sounds like not doing anything at all is not helpful, right? But it is, because it's introspection, right? When we get introspection, it allows us to look at everything. That's why we should give ourselves grace. Okay. All right. I'm gonna grab 2 more cards, and then I'm gonna just sum this reading up. I think I got the gist here, the message here from Spirit on what this collective needs to know as far as what's going on in their energy this morning. It's morning here anyway. All right, what are 2 more cards here that can help sum up this reading for the collective, giving them the okay. Wow, that came out. All right. Okay. So 2 more cards is exactly what I asked for here. All right, they came out sideways. So I'm looking at the 6 of Swords, and I'm looking at this what is this, 9 of Swords? Yeah, 9 of Swords card. Okay. So these both came out sideways. So what I'm seeing here is that there is movement and there is balance. So if you move forward and do it, you'll find that you'll get the balance that you're looking for, which will actively place this in an upwards position as far as your energy is concerned. However, all right, you are looking for solutions. This is why you're having introspection. All right, you know what you need to do. Okay. All right, this 9 of Swords here, all right, well, sideways. This is strength regarding this situation and what you're thinking about. Upright, this is like turmoil, all right? This is releasing that turmoil, all right? This is inner strength. This bad boy came out sideways. And so what I see from this reading is there is a little, the suffering is the fact that it's got you moody, all right? But you're showing the situation strength. All right, you're showing the situation strength. I hope y'all can see me. All right, you're showing the situation strength. You're giving this situation compassion by examining it, even if it makes you moody. All right, and so there will be a completion with this matter, whether you choose to do whatever it is that you need to do or not. But I can guarantee you that if you don't do it, this is going to weigh heavy on you. All right, so whatever it is that you are being called to do, whatever it is that you feel like you need to accomplish in order to do what you need to do, to give yourself the compassion, which is really the grace and the time, right? To figure out and understand more about what it is that you need to do. Okay. But I'm seeing here that at the bottom of the deck, this Eight of Pentacles is in reverse. Okay. So again, turn it up. If you make the decision, then you will turn this in an upwards position. Whatever this is, you're working on it. This creative ideal here, all right? This creative ideal is something that you are working on. You may not want to work on it, or you may not want to, I don't know, go public about it, go to the meeting, may not go all the way through with it, but you've got something here that you're grappling with, and you need to do it. All right. When you create space to think about things, understand that you're giving yourself grace. However, the longer you take, then yeah, you might feel yourself coming up out of those thoughts. Because remember, there's energy wars out here, and people are playing on your energy. So if you have doubt, a shadow of doubt about something, then it can weigh on you, or you can just go the opposite way, which may not be exactly what it is that you really want. Oftentimes, when what we really want, it's tough to see, all right, but then spirit will lead us in that direction. Okay. I started taking care of people a long time ago, 2006, right? I had an epiphany. I was like, oh man, cool. All right. And so then I figured I would definitely want to take care of people. All right. But then it was the understanding of the work that it was going to entail and the sacrifice. And so that made me go, I don't know if I really want to do all of that. But I could tell you, I also, when I was younger, I wanted land, right? I wanted to have a house where I had land, where I could, woods and things like that. So if I hunted, if I wanted to hunt, if I wanted to have a fire, I wanted something that was more expanded than the way I grew up, right? Where the neighbor was like right next door and stuff, right? And so, but when I bought this house, right? We got it at a foreclosure, right? It wasn't in the ideal spot, but it wasn't a bad spot either at all, right? Uh, I used to ask myself, like, man, I want land. I want land. Everybody trying to buy a house. I want land. When I started this business and I bought this house, I was led to start the business, and as a result, I was given the land. It was a foreclosure, so I got the house a lot cheaper than it's worth right now, right? So oftentimes, a blessing of getting something that you want, right, is going to come with the sacrifice or the decision to do something else, right? And so you have to really go along with where you're led. And yeah, there's going to be some sacrifices. But if you're not a lazy person and you are looking at this the right way, then you will make that necessary change, all right, so that you could get what it is that you're after. All right, whatever creative opportunity that you're after, you're selling there. All right, you might stop, put your anchor in the water, right? Because but understand though, this is not a bad thing. This is what we do as people. This is what this whole life, this is what this experience is here for, so that it can show us over time what it is that we really want to do. But do what brings you joy, so follow your compassion. And when you do that, you'll realize that you're in flow. All right. A lot of folks, they'll end up getting themselves into timelines and stuff where they're creating or where they're supposed to be doing something. And when you don't do that, you run into congestion. You run into, like almost like a voided space where everything then starts to be. You ever lost the remote control at night and you're half asleep and you're like, damn, what the fuck? Where's the remote at? I just had it here. I don't got time for this, right? Those are the type of hiccups that will reflect as that will come about in your life as a reflection of the fact that you're stalling yourself. Okay? All right? So if that happens and you're like, oh, this is something else, well, you're piling it on. All right? So if you have the wisdom to understand that you need to flow a different direction, might want to do that. All right, because then that will flow like this river here. Okay, that will flow like this river from what it is that you're cloaked in. All right. And it'll also bring your hermit out of isolation because you're isolating yourself when it's like this. All right. So you know you're in the hermit, but you're like, I don't want to do what I need to. So just make that decision. I got a collective here that needs to just make a decision. All right. 5-5 could be significant here. Okay. All right. Let me see something here. Yeah, so I'm looking at a 69. That could be significant. All right, so equal give and take, right? We all know what it can mean, other ways, but this is also a balance, equal give and take. So if you allow yourself to do something, then you will move smoother through it, right? You'll have more balance. If you balance the polarities, things will go a lot smoother. All right. But whatever it is, it's a creative opportunity. This is something that's positive, that's trying to work with you. Okay. It's just going to require that you do some self development because you're going to have to change the way you're doing things. Yeah, that's what you're going to have to do. It sounds like that's where the grappling is at. I don't want to change. I don't want to do nothing different, but I know what I need to do. Well, it sounds like you're in a cycle that is gonna be made to send you forward. So you're doing it anyway. You're doing it anyway. Yeah, you're doing it anyway. You're just delaying yourself. And this will change. Again, this will change. This wants to be like this, but this is the energy of this card, right? So you're moving, you're moving. You just haven't, I don't know, you just haven't moved. You're gonna do it though. You're gonna do it because of that lack of confidence in card. Again, something you're supposed to be doing. All right, it's just a lack of confidence. And honestly, all right, you can be like, I just don't want to, and so that's a perception change. Okay, you gotta acquire the confidence. You remember that movie Battle Shit, when that brother with that had two legs missing, right? Was he's supposed to go down there and grab some type of hard drive from the camp, but he realized that the aliens were down there, and so the Marine who was actually going on a walk, right, with no legs, right, the significance there, all right, tells this scientist that's scared to death, rightfully so, right, that he needs to get some type of information, some type of computer equipment from down there. And he's like, I know what I need to do, but I'm not going down there. And so the part of that movie that draws this conversation that I channeled here are, you need to acquire the courage, or a spirit gonna put his foot up your ass until you decide you gonna do it, because from the bottom of your heart, from the core of your heart, this is the way you're supposed to be flowing, whether you can see it or not. Maybe you ask for something and you need to do this to get to that. Maybe you need to do that, but you don't want to commit to it. And so that's why you need to acquire the courage and strength to just go forward, and understand that that whole process was a learning process. So give yourself grace, but be honest with yourself. This is why we don't live in illusions, because the illusions that, that people can oftentimes project, should they decide to live in there, can play out against us. Okay. But again, remember, this whole reading here sounds like a learning. It sounds like a learning curve. It sounds like what life is about. So give yourself grace, but move and flow in the direction that's going to allow you to not lose your remote and create frustration right in the middle of where you're supposed to be resting or whatever. All right, because these reflections play out when we create them. All right, so that's the message for today. All right. So I hope that you find out what it is that, or I hope that you find the courage, because you know what you need to do. All right, and so when I say 5-5, in 69 and 8-9, all right, it sounds like we're going up. All right, move forward. and you'll find that you're happy. All right. And yeah, you got to change whatever it is that you're doing. Yeah. Or you could stay in this small little cycle here of being upset. But clearly you want to get out of it. So, uh, yeah, ask your spirit team for help and say, hey, I want to get out of this. I don't want to be moody, right? All of that's playing on the fact that this is weighing on you. So make a decision. All right. That's the message for today. If you like how I laid this out and this resonates with you, all right, hit that like button. All right. I appreciate y'all. All right. And I love giving these messages. I love helping any way that I can using my gifts. This is what I've had to learn to do also. When I learned to do it for myself, that was one thing. All right. And Spirit said, not for views, right, on YouTube, because as a tourist, like I could care less, right? But Spirit said, well, I know. Yeah, I know you could care less. But I want you to utilize your gifts to help people because there's somebody out here that needed to hear this message. So I grappled with that, right? But at the same time, I knew because as a Hierophant, I knew that I needed to give these messages. So we are here to be doing something. All right. So the good thing is when you fall in line and when you come to these understanding, then you're on the right path. You're going forward on your path. And so you're not here on earth wasting your time. All right. Until the next message, I'm Dion from Divine Time. Y'all have a wonderful day. I love y'all. I'm sending peace, love, and light, and I share.